Every day we move, we rush, we scroll, but rarely do we take the time to do this one simple thing: be still. So today I just want to talk to you about some of the importance of being still and how this one simple thing could be the very one thing that your soul needs. The truth is, most of us don't want to sit still because we're forced to face ourselves, be alone in our own thoughts. It's not that because we're so productive and busy and we got so much going on, but to sit in that silence and just be still, it forces a lot of reflection. Some times where we didn't have any, some unsettling thoughts and emotions and feelings. Now you got to sit in that, like literally, just sit in that. So that's why a lot of us try to avoid from, just being still. But what I've been learning and discovering over the course of time is, man, it's so much liberty and freedom in just being at peace, being in the quietness, whether that's nature like this, or if you're riding in your whip, you traveling somewhere, and you alone, you in your car, you at work, just taking some time to silence the noise and the distractions and be still. What stillness actually does. See, nobody really teaches us what stillness is or just being calm, one present in the moment. Stillness, it isn't like scary. It isn't something that we should be afraid of. It's something where we can just take some time to sit in our emotions, our own thoughts, anxiety that we haven't dealt with, we get to just be present and be there. So it gives you a time of just peace and serenity. I know this sounds like on some, some new age hippie stuff, but on some realness, some real talk, you just take the time to just sit in this stillness, this quietness, silence some of the noise. It's peaceful. You know how like water becomes calm, like when nothing is disturbing it, there's no storm. It goes the same with our thoughts. Like when we just still, it gives us time to just be in tune. Stillness, another beauty and benefit of it, allows you to hear God. I don't know about for you, but for myself, I consume a lot. As many of us, we on our phone, your iPad, the television, the radio, social media, anything to distract us from that. But just being still, especially like when you're going through a season of hardships and you're going through your winter and it's literally frigid and cold out here, and you're seeking something more than what's out there, you got to go to the main source, not the resources, which are helpful, but the source himself, God. So stillness allows me to silence some of the noise because we get overwhelmed. So much information. We in an information overload time frame, different from the industrial areas and all that, our ancestor era. But when I be still and calm and I'm really going through it, or even if I'm not going through it, I just need to, open up and vent. Being still, kicking back, surrendering, opening my heart, like, God, listen, it's tough out here. I'm going through it, going through the motions, and I need to hear your voice. So when I quiet my mind down, God can speak to me. And, depending on your relationship, a lot of people talk about God has this subtle, small, silent voice. Sometimes he may speak to you in a subtle way. But when you have a rapport and a relationship with God, he'll speak to you however he needs to do. So for me, yes, I'm in some stillness and quietness within nature, but he might be yelling, yo, Aaron, Clev, tighten up, man. Like, you haven't been obedient, and which is better than sacrifice. Yeah, you've been sacrificing, but I need you to be obedient in this season, in this era. So times like that where I'm really going through it, some things say that, scripture says that these things are happening through prayer and fasting. So sometimes you got to just get low, fast, be hungry to hear his voice. So that's what stillness allows. All right, so how to practice being still, putting some things, these philosophies, principles, and practicality, how to practice being still. You don't need to be on a retreat, a vacation, all those things are nice, but you can be literally in the comfort of your own home. You can be on a bench like I am. Like I said, If you need to flee and go to your car, you sitting in your car, you actually listen to this and watching this. You can just be still in your car, in your room, your prayer closet, wherever you can find a level of peace and tranquility just to tune out some of the noise and be still. So these are things that, I'm starting to implement more. I'm not saying that I do this on a regular, but I'm seeking more. I'm trying to continue to grow more. So these type of methods where I'm by myself, I don't need a whole entourage and a squad. These are things that I'm putting into practice to implement for my stillness and peace. Like on another note, sometimes being still is one of the most important things you can do. We get so much information from different sources, parents, if you marry a spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, children, you're forced to make a decision. But sometimes in the midst of that calamity, that chaos, it's best to just be still and allow God to speak to you, and your answers will start revealing themselves. So learn to just breathe, be cool, be calm. I know this is a little different for some of you guys, but trust me, if you just start practicing some of these things, you're going to see some differences. You're going to see some changes in your life, and you'll continue to grow and develop. So we all here on a journey. We're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to continue to elevate and grow. So in due time, let's keep making it happen. All right. So if you can relate, if you practice any of these things, stillness, if this is something new or something you want to go, deep dive into, put a comment down. Let me know what's been working for you. And, as always, if this provided any value, you're getting something from this, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and we're going to continue to grow this thing out. And we're going to continue to have these clever convos. You heard me? Till next time.